Guys, what's going on? So in this video I wanted to discuss how long it will take for you to see your six-pack, and this is something that lots of times I have clients that come to me, or people that want to lose body weight, and they have a goal of looking lean. Usually a six-pack comes into that picture for males. So I wanted to make this video kind of just explaining how long will it take to see your six-pack using like a mathematical calculation and approach to it. But first off, I want to define, I guess, what that six-pack zone kind of is, because I think a lot of people have really big misconceptions about like levels of body fat. So first off, be honest with yourself when you're actually analyzing where you're starting at. I'll pop some examples of body fat versus percentage on the screen right now, but typically like the percentage of body fat that you're going to have, like around where you're going to start to have visible abs and separations in your muscles, it's going to be around 12 to 13%. If you're above that, if you don't have any visible abs, no like clear separations in like other muscle groups, like your chest, or like your shoulders, or like back or whatever, like, then you're probably not that. You're probably more around 15% or more. I'll pop up some examples on the screen, but basically when I'm defining a six-pack zone and time to get six-pack, I'm talking about 12% body fat or less. Typically most people who see like their fitness like models are going to be between 8 to 12% body fat, mostly year-round. Like those Abercrombie and Fitch models that you see are probably around like 9 to 10% body fat. But that's basically what the six-pack zone is. And when you are having a plan for how long will it take for me to actually structure a diet long term based off of the goal that they have, or like I have, having some sort of a clear idea of how long that this will take you is really important, just for motivation if you're somebody who is just starting this out, or if you're somebody who, more importantly, has a prep, who you have a specific time frame that you have to get ready for a show. You have to be lean enough. This will help you plan long term, like the rate of loss. So in this video I wanted to discuss how to come up with this and how to know, based off of a hypothetical example I'm going to use. I'll show you like a calculation that you guys can use to define this for yourself, and I'll show an example and walk you guys through it. So alright, so I broke out the whiteboard for this. So you're going to need to do a little bit of math here, but it's worth it. So for this example, we have a 200 pounds male who is 20% body fat. And he wants to get down to 12% body fat, because like what I said earlier, that is the estimated six-pack range where you're looking pretty crispy. And everybody would say, damn, you look good. Anyways, so what you want to first do is find your current lean body mass. So if you're 20% body fat, you want to multiply 200 times 0.8, and that's just because you basically want to take whatever percentage of your body is fat, and then use a decimal point, subtract that from 1, and get whatever that is. So for example, if he was 25% body fat, instead of multiplying it by 200 times 0.8, you multiply it by 200 times 0.75. So that's how you would do that. But basically, if 200 times 0.8 equals 160 pounds. Now what you want to do is you want to factor in some lean body mass loss. Now this is at least going to be some glycogen, water weight, because lean body mass is not just muscle. And typically I find this drops off primarily in the first week of dieting. When you're lowering in carbs, you're not going to be able to store as much glycogen. You're typically peeing out more water, and that is lean body mass. And I've actually found that the likelihood of muscle mass loss, provided that you're actually resistance training and like you're eating enough protein, is pretty low, unless you get down to like below like 10% body fat. And even then it's not going to be as big as most people chalk it up to. Typically when people are like, oh my gosh, I lost so much size, they actually just lost a lot of like intramuscular triglyceride and bloat, and they actually aren't as muscular as they thought that they were. So that's a little bit of a side note, but I found that on average, most people in their first week of dieting will lose about 2% body weight per week from lean body mass. So let's just say, you know, hypothetically, you know, we're going to factor in a 2% lean body mass loss. So 2%, basically what you do is you would take 160 times 0.98, and then you would find 157 pounds. 157 pounds from that. So this is important. This is an important number because we're going to use this then now to find our goal weight, and this is going to help guide every single other calculation that we do. So if he's 40 pounds of fat mass at 20% body fat, and his goal is 12% body fat, he's going to need to lose 8% body fat. So what you would do, as you can see right down here, is you're going to take the percentage of that. So 12%. So we basically take 1 minus 0.12, and then you're going to get 88%. And again, because that's going to be the percent of your body weight that is going to be lean body mass. So 88% of your body is going to be lean body mass. So you would take 157 pounds, and then divide that by 0.8, and then you're going to be able to get your goal weight, which is going to be 178 pounds. Okay, so this is important. So for this next step, I'll write it out. But you're going to want to take this number, the 200 pounds, and then 178, and then we can make a calculation based off of your goal rate of loss per week about how long it will take for you to get down to 12% body fat and see your six-pack finally. All right, and then so I did the rest of the calculations now. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your starting weight and then subtract that from your goal weight, and then you're going to find how many pounds of fat mass that you have to lose. So in the case of this individual, 200 pounds minus 178 pounds, which is their goal weight, equals 22 pounds of fat to lose. From there, we need to determine how fast are we going to lose that body weight per week, after we've already factored into, you know, in that lean body mass loss that will occur from dieting. So anywhere between 0.5 to 1% of body weight per week is about what you should do. Anything more than that, like, it's just not really worth it. You tend to, adherence becomes a big issue because hunger just gets like really annoying, and yeah, that's basically gonna, you know, about as fast as you can lose weight while still maintaining as much muscle as possible, because calories are ultimately what have the most powerful effect on sparing muscles in addition to protein. So if you're going to lose 0.5% body weight per week, you'll be losing 1.1 pounds per week. If you're going to lose 0.75% of body weight per week, you will lose 1.65 pounds per week, and if you lose 1% of body weight per week, you will lose 22 pounds per week. Now, what we have down here is basically the amount of time that this would take in order for to go to with these rates of weight loss, how long it would take. So you can see right here, if he was to lose 0.5% of body weight per week, he would take 20 weeks to get to 12% body fat. He was to lose 0.75% of body weight per week, it would take him 13.5 weeks to lose that. And if he was to lose 1% of body weight per week, he would be losing, it would be taking 10 pounds to 10 weeks to see his six-pack. So that's roughly about how long that it will take for that person to see their six-pack. Now I will say that now if we're going to go from this, how do we determine the calorie deficit? And so what I'll do right now is I will show you about how to figure out your calorie deficit then based off of rates of loss that you want to have. But that calculation I just showed you, I'll have like a Microsoft or like a Google Drive link to like see the full calculation, so that you can apply to yourself with the steps, but like to go along with this hypothetical. But now I'm going to show you like how I would determine the calorie deficit for that rate of loss per week based off of body weight. Alright, so this is the last little segment, but this is basically going to be how you determine your calorie deficit based off of your goal rate of loss. So, you know, let's say 0.5, 0.75, or 1% of body weight per week. What you would do with 0.5 is percent rate of loss per week. You multiply your body weight times 2.5, and that would say if you're 200 pounds, that would give you a 500 calorie daily deficit. If you were to lose 0.75% body fat per week, you would take your body weight times 3.75, and that would give you 750 calorie daily deficit if you weigh 200 pounds. If you want to lose 1% of your body weight per week, you would take your body weight and multiply that by 5, and that would give you a 1,000 calorie deficit if you were 200 pounds. So I like using that integer just because I found that it basically correlates pretty well with how fast you're going to lose weight, and I think it should scale with body weight, just because it's going to again scale with the calories too. Because with bigger people, you're going to eat more food, and they can get away with a larger deficit than smaller people in general. Like applying like an arbitrary 500 calorie deficit to like a 130-pound female, and if you still like, oh well, I'm going to do that to like a 200-pound male, doesn't really make much sense to me. Since it is all dependent upon body weight and rate of loss for your body. This basically makes it more individualized. But yeah, so basically that's how long it will take to get your six-pack, and this is how you can calculate that. And it can really help you with planning out long-term, again, like I said. I'll have a link down below to a Google Drive file with basically how I did this, so you can plug and play, but that was just an example. But yeah, so, you know, if you guys like the video, please make sure to like it, just share it, subscribe. Hopefully this helps you guys out with, I guess, long-term planning and, you know, having a, some process-oriented goals for your outcome of getting a six-pack, and kind of like a range of like what you guys know. Oh, I have to get this lean, or I have to lose like this much fat, and this is how long it will probably take for me to lose that. But yeah, hopefully you guys like the video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. If you guys are interested in coaching or programs, please go to adamclearfitness.com, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.